Alright, so this video I'm going to show you how to read in a characters from scanner. Right, so we say that one way we can do that, since we don't have next char, right, we can do keyboard.next.char at index 0. So what does it mean? Keyboard.next returns a string type, right? And a string, if you look at string class, string is a class. Alright, so let's look at string Java doc. I'm going to show you scanner Java doc with the don't have next char here. We do next return string. That's how we look at, right? Return string. Next here, right? Next. Now, once we get string, we can look at string class. Alright, string is a class. String has the method char at, which will return the characters back for you. Just specify the index. Right now, if I have a letters, pretty much the index of that letter is 0. Like if I have a word ant, its index could be 0, 1, and 2, right? But now we just worry about reading the string and then get the characters, which is read char, right? Then we just specify index 0. So that's why we just do, this is a string. String has a method .char at 0. Then you get a char value, which is char type. So that should work. Once I run this, the first one asks for byte values. I should prompt the user to enter the char values, right? Now, there's another way to do this too, okay? Besides using char at, we can also look at okay, I'm going to say another char value. We said scanner has a method, right? Find in line, and we can use regular expression here, which is the regular expression that we're going to use is the period. Okay. Where's the textbook? Here, right? Period. Any signal characters. We want the characters. So we're going to find characters and return it out. So, meaning that I can use find in line. And the pattern that I'm looking for is a single characters, right? So now what is find in line going to return? A string. Alright, it's going to return a string. So it's going to return that characters already. Now we need to, we can either do that too, right? To get the char back. So let's see if I do that to get a char back. Right. Let's test. So first one. I see. So it's on the desktop. Right. I have to hit OK. Now let me run the program again. So enter the first values. Hit OK. It's going to prompt for enter a char value. A. So that is coming from here, right? Next char. Enter another char value. Okay, so no part exception. So no part exception, that means something is null, okay, at that line. So let's check what's wrong here. Okay, so now I just try to test keyboard.find inline instead, right? So that's why find inline, once I do this, it's pop up null, because the purpose of find inline doesn't do next for read in from user keyboard, but find inline find the next occurrence of a pattern from the specified string, meaning that you have to give, see how to use, right? You first create a pattern. So this is the pattern that you want to look for, any characters, right? Now, but this one doesn't do the read, right? So if it doesn't do the read, when I try to assign this find inline from the keyboard, it's pretty much an empty, right? Once I have it's empty, that's why it's null. And if I try to do char add afterward, that's why I just say null part exception, because it's null. Okay. An example of when to use find inline, right? Like for example, I'm looking I'm saying that, okay, this is a string, okay, and string value, I have to provide the values, right? A string. Now I have to create another scanner, say this is a string value, okay, equals to new scanner, as creating from that string input, right? Then if I use keyboard, it's always going to be null, because keyboard means you need to read in, right? If you read in, you could use keyboard.next, then you get string, right? But for this one, you can't use .next. Find line doesn't do .next, doesn't read from keyboard. Find line only find from the value that you're reading or have been given here, right? From the string values when you create, or from the file if you have the file instead of input here, right? So we're using a scanner constructor. Okay, scanner not only reading from keyboard, right? From the file, from input stream is keyboard, right? And can be string. We are using this one, right? An actual string values. So now if I say in a pattern, after I found it, then I want it to return to be string output, then we can say you have just entered, which we cannot enter anymore, right? Okay. And input value, and then we just say output. Now let's look at what we get first for final line here. So you have just entered 5, right? Now I'm going to put a characters just entered A. You have an input value A, right? So that's how you use find inline, because we find this is the regular expressions, and you can get a letter A back in this case, right? Like I just put a letter A. Now find inline returns string, right? So it's going to return a string. So enter 5, char value S, right? Enter another char. I'm going to prompt that. Like at this point, it's return A as string. But we said how we gonna get a char? We can get a char by same thing, right? After it's return a string, we can do char at. So meaning that you're going to use find inline when you're not reading from keyboard, and then you can just change this to char type, right? Then it will work if you're not reading from keyboard. You don't have to prompt enter another char values because we already have it here. But if you're reading from keyboard, you pretty much has to do this keyboard.next.char at, because keyboard and next give you string and char at is returning a char. Now we could say this is also giving you string, but from the one that already provided, right? From input here, not from the keyboard. Technically, if you want to read a char from a file, you can use keyboard.next. You're gonna be in trouble also, right? Then you have to use string value find line. If you have to read a char value from a file or from a string itself, right? Not from the keyboard. But if you have to read from keyboard, then you do keyboard next. You can pretty much just use find line. Otherwise, you get the no point exception, and vice versa. So both of them work. It just depends on the situation when you want to use it. All right, let's test again. Enter 5. You have just enter 5. Enter char values H. Have just enter H, and you have an input value A, and this is a char at, which is returning char with the scanner method find line.